All right, the first thing you want to do when you're factoring is look for a common factor. Any of those terms have a common factor? No. For example, this one has a common factor of 3, so I'd pull out the 3. So you'd pull out the 3, and then 3 times what is 3x squared? 3 times x squared. 3 times what is 12x? That would be 4x. 3 times what is negative 36? And that would be negative 12. So then I want to factor what's left. So I can get it down to this guy. So since there's a 1 in front of the x squared, I can use our short little trick that says two numbers that multiply together to be negative 12 and add together to be 4. So I need two numbers multiply together to be negative 12 and add together to be 4. So I just go through all the combinations. There's 1 and 12. One of them has to be negative. There's 2 and 6. And there's 3 and 4. And those are all our combinations. So I just got to make sure one's negative. So it's right here. So if the 2 is negative, you add them together, you get 4. You multiply them, you get negative 12. So it's x plus 6, x minus 2. So this guy, if you multiplied it out, would equal that guy. Back up here, no common factor. So if there's no common factor, and it's a 1 in front of the r squared, then I look for two numbers that multiply together to be 50 and add together to be 15. Plus 5 plus 10. There's a 1 in front of that n squared. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together to be negative 8 and add together to be negative 7. So negative 8 and positive 1. If I multiply that out, it would come out to be that guy. For example, n minus 8, n plus 1, n squared, negative 8n, and negative 8. Now, there's my n squared, there's my negative 8. When you combine these like terms, you get the negative 7n. Common factor, I have a 4. 4 times what is 36v? 4 times what is 56? Hey, look, there's a 1 in front of that v squared, so I can use the trick again. V and v, two numbers multiply together be 14, add together be 9. And I just go through all the combinations. 1 and 14, 2 and 7. And then I look at, hey, when I add them together, am I going to get 9? This one's a difference of two squares. So that's the pattern that we go x minus 2, x plus 2. Square root of that one, square root of that one. One's negative, one's positive. A difference of two squares. That's a squared number, that's a squared number. Square root of that one is 5r. Square root of that one is 3. So that's 5r plus 3 also. These are the ones that get most people. These are the tougher ones. So there's no common factor, and there's a number in front of the n squared that's not 1. So I make a generic rectangle. 3n squared, 1. 3n squared. Two numbers that multiply together to be 3n squared and add together to be 4n. What are they? 3n and n. Those will add together to be that guy. Now I just got to come up with these dimensions. And that'll be my answer. Common factor of 3n, common factor of n. 3n times what is 3n? N times what is n? So it's 3n plus 1, n plus 1. And it doesn't matter the order I write them. I can write n plus 1 times 3n plus 1. Doesn't matter. Is there a common factor? No. And there's a number in front of the k squared, so I got to use a generic rectangle. Actually, the generic rectangle works on every single one of them. There's just shortcuts up there. 20k squared. Two numbers multiply together to be 20k squared and add together to be 9. So 1 and 20? No. 2 and 10? No. 4 and 5? 4k, 5k. Common factor? 2k. Common factor? k. 2k times something is 4k. K times something is 5k. And then no common factor. 3x squared, 5. These multiply together to be 15x squared, so these are going to multiply together to be 15x squared and add together to be negative 8. Multiply together to be 15x squared and add together to be negative 8x. So negative 3x, negative 5x. These are the common factors. 3x times what is that? Negative 1. X times what is negative 5x. And the last one, no common factor again. 5n squared. Negative 12. Negative 60n squared. Two numbers multiply together to be negative 60. And add together to be 17. So I'm going to subtract them because one's going to be negative, one's going to be positive. So 20n and negative 3n, those multiply together to be negative 60. And they add together to be 17n. So that's plus 4 because 5n times 4 is 20n. N times negative 3 gives me negative 3. N plus 4. 5n minus 3. Now you've seen a bunch of examples. You just got to practice. You got to practice to get good at it.